Hi everyone. I'm back to read another Choose Your Own Adventure book. This one is Choose Your Own Adventure number 17, The Brilliant Dr. Wogan, which I believe is a reprint. So this is the newer edition from like the 2000s. I think it was probably originally published in the 80s, but we'll find out. Here's a close-up of the cover. Oh, hey Rachel. This is written by R.A. Montgomery, who wrote a lot of the early Choose Your Own Adventure books. Yeah, it's got collectible cards, which are still inside. Yeah, it has. Yeah, we'll see it. So here are the cards. Melting Mountain. So. So I don't think we'll be using the cards in the book. That I don't know how they work, and didn't figure out if the cards actually can be used in the adventure. Yeah, won't be using those. Maybe next time. Oh, hey Stephanie. Collectible. Yeah, it says collective. I thought is that misspelled? Thought it was spelled IBLE. But maybe it can be spelled either way. And there's the back cover. What if there was a machine that could stop a nuclear bomb and neutralize all radiation? A machine that could stop radiation would shift the balance of world power overnight. In the right hands, it could herald a new age of world peace. In the wrong hands, it could spell disaster. The brilliant Dr. Wogan has designed such a machine. But she has gone missing, along with the plans. As her right-hand assistant, everyone looks to you to help find her. So, the intelligence official says, you know how important this job is. Without Diana Wogan, the work of the last 11 years, the hope of hundreds of millions of souls, and maybe even life as we know it on this planet will be lost. A few days later, clues have led you to the Greek Isle of Canacal, where a middle-aged man slips on a cobblestone and bumps into you. Pardon me, he murmurs, while slipping a piece of paper into your hand. He moves off. The paper says, take the next ferry to the island of Boscada. You will be contacted. Beware of the lighted steps. Dr. Wogan lives, but there is great danger. If you decide to go to Boscada by ferry, turn to page 5. If you decide to stay for the meeting with the mysterious Zabil, turn to page 7. Wars are best fought before they begin, or so said the great Chinese military strategist Sun Tzu in the 6th century. Nuclear disarmament would sure help, you think. Dr. Wogan's device will make a better world, but it's not a world that everyone necessarily wants. Good luck! And that was a long intro. Diana Wogan's job, yeah, does sound stressful. Very stressful. Yeah, in the right hands, nuclear weapons are great, but in the wrong hands, not so good. It's like, what was it, Superman 4, where Lex Luthor says that, look, no, I forget what he said. That didn't work. Oh yeah, he says no one wants to actually have a war. We just want to keep the threat alive and like make money while we're doing it. Kids love reading Choose Your Own Adventure. That's what two 12-year-olds and two 11-year-olds. I guess teachers don't enjoy Choose Your Own Adventures anymore. Here we are. The Brilliant Dr. Wogan by R.A. Montgomery. Illustrated by Mariano Trod, Claudio Griglio, and Andres Rossi. Cover by Jintinen Dunploypech. And the company is it's Chooseco in Waitsfield, Vermont. I think that was actually the original company that published like the very first Choose Your Own Adventures. It was a company in Vermont. So what happened is that they bought the right. They were able to get the rights to use the Choose Your Own Adventure name in the early 2000s, because like the copyright on it lapsed or something. So they snapped it up and created this new company called Chusco and republished a lot of these old ones. Yeah, so The Brilliant Dr. Wogan originally was published in 1987, and then artwork, design, and revised text is 2005. So, but it was originally published in the late 80s. For Anson and Ramsey, for Avery and Leela, and for Shannon. Beware and warning. This book is different from other books. You and you alone are in charge of what happens in this story. There are dangers, choices, adventures, and consequences. You must use all of your wits and much of your exceptional intelligence. The wrong decision could end in disaster, even death. But don't despair. At any time, you can go back and make another choice, alter the path of your story, and change its result. Your mentor and direct boss, the brilliant scientist Diana Wogan, has disappeared. That just sounds odd, your direct boss. All right. Several of her most recent inventions are missing too. One of them, a radiation neutralizer, could change the balance of world power overnight. A country with the atom bomb and a neutralizer would be safe from outside attack. They could ransom the planet. Dr. Wogan's plan was to put a neutralizer into the hands of every country, making the whole world safe. Unfortunately, it seems like someone else has very different ideas. Yeah, it could just be your supervisor. Like, what is your direct boss or supervisor? Kids love a remains of the day lunchbox. Where was that from? They sure do. That's an uplifting story. I remember that story. Whereas, yeah, maybe that's Anthony Hopkins right there. Yeah. Okay. There isn't a clue, not a trace. Dr. Wogan, the brilliant Wogan, is gone. The fat, stoop-shouldered official in the rumpled gray suit slams his pencil on the desk and sits down, not looking at anyone in the room. You glance around at the others. They are all silent. Then, without warning, you hear, "There is only one person who can find Diana Wogan and bring her back. If she's alive. We all know who I'm talking about. You. Come up here." The man in the gray suit points at you. You are the youngest scientist ever to be a member of the world-famous Delta Group, a research team dedicated to global peace. It's made up of people from both the small and the powerful countries. Dr. Wogan is the head of the group, and you are her right-hand assistant. Yeah, we get started with the fat shaming like right away. We're not wasting any time. The fat, plump, rotund man. Yeah, okay. So yeah, there's the. He doesn't even look that fat. Is that supposed to be him? I like the phone there. So it's good. Okay. So you know this was originally published in the late 80s. That's how you know. Wait, what? All right. The year is 2043. Okay. And rogue nations and terror groups have been threatening the use of nuclear weapons for more than 40 years. Dr. Wogan has concentrated her research on a device that neutralizes radiation. Just think, she has often said to you, we can make nuclear weapons powerless if this device works. But Dr. Wogan, you replied recently, in the wrong hands the radiation neutralizer could hold the world hostage. One group or country would be safe from attack, but the rest of the world wouldn't be. I know, she said. That is why I must hurry to finish the device and give it to the entire world, so that everyone can have it. Okay, I guess maybe that's the device. That's 20 years away. That's already been threatened for more than 40 years. Yeah, so I guess the threatening started in 2003. We just didn't know. Yeah, we're already at that point, really. Like, everyone has nuclear weapons now. The day after that conversation, Dr. Wogan disappeared. She was probably kidnapped by someone or some group who wanted the plans for the device. Maybe it's the evil Power Master. No? Okay. Probably not. But there is a chance that she has gone into hiding to work in safety. Now you sit in Delta Group Conference Room B in a research complex just south of London. You don't protest when the official calls you forward. They would never take no for an answer, and besides, as Dr. Wogan's assistant, you probably are most qualified to search for the genius. You rise slowly from your chair and walk toward the front of the room. You place yourself at attention in front of the man in the gray suit. So, he says, you know how important this job is. Without Diana Wogan, the work of the last 11 years, the hope of hundreds of millions of souls, and maybe every life as we know it on this planet will be lost. L-O-S-T, forever. It's sad that we humans have gotten to a point where so much depends on one person, but we have to bring her back alive. Remember, there are many foreign agents after her and her plans. You won't be alone in your search for Dr. Wogan. Turn to page 87. Could that be? Could Dr. Vivaldi be the evil? She could secretly be the evil Power Master? Yeah, no, that can't be. He spells the words out because he has to emphasize it. Aw. Oh, that's a great poem about Dr. Vivaldi, Rachel. Or it could be like a song lyric. So it should there should be a song about Dr. Vivaldi. It really should be. Like when you search for her online to see like how many books she's been in, there's only like maybe two or well, there was one website that only mentioned that she was in 2 books, and it was like, no, obviously she's in a lot more than just 2 books. I do have another book that we just ordered that we haven't read yet that she's also in, so we haven't seen the last of her. All right, your only clue to Dr. Wogan's whereabouts is that she had an island retreat in the Aegean Sea off the coast of Turkey. The name of the island is Bozcaada. The closest city on the mainland is Canacal. 3 days later, you have reached Canacal. A poster on the stone wall of a church in a square immediately catches your attention. There's a picture of a woman on the poster. It's Dr. Wogan! It's her, you shout. Wow, that's so much for maintaining a low profile, huh? With all those foreign agents around. Slowly you translate the poster with the aid of a Turkish phrase book. It says, special appearance of Sibyl, the great fortune teller. Okay. March 9th, 10:30 p.m. Place to be announced. Sign up now at Hotel Christos.
Is that your hotel?
What's that?
Is that your hotel?
No, the whole thing about it being Zabil, the great fortune teller, my racism detector is going off. I don't know. All right. Anyways, it is now 4:30. Is now 4:30 p.m. Is the poster a sign meant especially for your eyes? Is the sign from Dr. Wogan, or from those against Dr. Wogan? Turn to page 94. As you stare at the poster, a faint wind carrying the smell of rosemary and oregano sifts through the air. A middle-aged man slips on a cobblestone and bumps into you. Pardon me, he murmurs, while slipping a piece of paper into your hand. He moves off. The paper says, take the next ferry to the island of Bozcaada. You will be contacted. Beware of the lighted steps. Dr. Wogan lives, but there is great danger. What now, you wonder? Should you trust this stranger? If you decide to stay for the meeting with Zabil, turn to page 7. If you decide to go to Bozcaada by ferry, turn to page 5. Time for some food racism. Oregano. So are they trying to tell us that the middle-aged man spelled like rosemary and oregano? Is that what they were trying to do? Flipto is like, it's like, Zabil is like Flipto, yeah. What now? That was like work today. I won't go into that. Yeah, so should we stay for the meeting with Zabil, or should we take the ferry? I'm a little worried about the whole thing with like a fortune teller named Zabil with a book that was written in 1987. Just, based on the track record that earlier books have had. Take the ferry. Yeah, I think we'll take the ferry. Guess I'll have to miss out on Zabil's fortune-telling skills. The ferry for Boscada is an old boat, grimy with years of service. Barnacles and seaweed cling to its hull. It sloshes up and down in the gentle swell of the Aegean. "One way or return?" asks the man selling tickets, in surprisingly good English. "Return, I hope," you reply. "As you wish," he murmurs, handing you your ticket. The ferry does not depart for 2 hours. When at last it chugs away from Canacol, you survey the other passengers. There are 6 of them. And here's your, the man selling a ride to you. He's like counting his coins or something. Yeah, these illustrations are kind of... Everyone looks like really creepy in these illustrations. I don't know. Maybe we're just taking the ferry to avoid the racism. That could be. All right. Or we just really like boat rides. Okay. The 6 passengers spread throughout the small cabin. The 6 passengers spread throughout the small cabin, each taking a seat near one of the windows. You have been traveling for several hours when one of them, a young woman dressed in a yellow rain slicker, motions to you with a nod of her head and a slight movement of her hand. She repeats the movement and looks aft, out towards the deck at the stern of the ferry. Then she gets up and leaves the cabin. You are about to rise and follow her when a man, middle-aged and well-dressed in a suit and a tweed overcoat, attracts your attention by dropping a pen. He bends to pick it up and, while rising, gently shakes his head, looks at the figure of the woman who is out now on the deck, and mouths the words, "No." If you decide to ignore the man's warning and go out on deck to talk to the woman, turn to page 21. If you decide to take the man's advice and not follow the woman, turn to page 92. So should we take this man's advice and not follow the woman that gestured for you to follow her? I mean, she wants us to follow her, right? She's not. Take the advice, we don't know stuff. No stalking. Well, is it stalking if she told us to follow her? I mean, don't just don't follow women around. It's just I don't know if she did. Maybe. I mean, she didn't really. I mean, maybe she wasn't looking at us. Maybe she just like happened to be. Maybe she was looking at someone right behind us or something. Yeah, I think we'll take the man's advice then. We can't be certain that she was trying to get us to follow her. Page 92. It is too dangerous to trust anyone yet. That woman could be an enemy, and she could easily push you into the water. Maybe I'll be contacted on the island, you say to yourself. The ferry sways in the waves, and you begin to experience a mixture of seasickness and fear. The woman remains on the deck. She turns occasionally to stare at you, but she does not move, nor does anyone else in the cabin. It is unnaturally quiet. The only sound is the pumping beat of the ferry engine. You realize you're going to be sick, and desperately look for a door to the deck that does not lead to the stern. You get to your feet, and, to your surprise, so does everyone else in the cabin. Then you notice that the ferry is at the dock. There is a thud as it gently bumps against the piers. With great relief, you forget your seasickness and head for the landing ramp with the other passengers. Turn to page 35. Once safely on the dock, you survey the crowd looking for a contact. "Special bus to the castle. Great views. Tourist special. Here's your ticket," says a man holding out a piece of paper. You look at the paper and see the name Wogan spelled out in big letters. The man nods and smiles. He gets in the bus and you follow. The woman from the boat is already there. She's sitting next to a window. She motions to you to sit next to her. Why didn't you come out on deck? I wanted to warn you about the opposition. I was scared, I guess. I didn't know who you were. I still don't. Everyone's getting on their feet because they don't want to be in the room and you puke. Mix of seasickness and fear does sound terrible. Yikes. I'm Diana Wogan's daughter, she replies, and we are in danger, in even greater danger than I first thought. The opposition thinks you are my mother's special courier. They will do anything to track you. It is a critical time. Mom has asked to see you, but if you will leave the bus, sacrificing yourself by serving as a decoy, my mother may escape, taking with her the possibility of a peaceful world. We have already been rescued from crooks and spies in Kanakal thanks to you. The crooks were distracted by your arrival, and Mom was able to break away from them as they tried to follow you. And if I refuse to be a decoy, you ask? Then stay aboard the bus, and we will do our best to lose them and help my mother escape. All right, I guess that's her. That's Diana Wogan's daughter. I mean, I wonder if she gets a name, or she'll just be known as like Diana Wogan's daughter for the rest of the book. Just like everybody else on the bus. Okay. If you decide to be a decoy, turn to page 41. If you stay on the bus and go see Dr. Wogan, turn to page 52. Does she look like Diana Wogan? I'm assuming that's actually Dr. Wogan, Diana Wogan, and that's her daughter. Maybe, could be. Not into sacrificing ourselves no matter what the girl says. Don't want to be a decoy. She does kind of look like a sorcerer a little bit. All right, so we'll stay on the bus then. We'll decide not to be a decoy. Yeah, like deciding to be a decoy, it's like almost like we're giving up, like trying to help, you know? Like, yeah, we'll like take the easy way out and just be a decoy. Hey, I'm no sitting duck for anyone, you exclaim. I'm here to help, but that's crazy. It sounds like suicide. Besides, you said Dr. Wogan wanted to see me. As you wish, she replies. The bus moves off, and minutes later it is traveling along a narrow, bumpy road, perilously close to a cliff that falls straight to the ocean below. The bus driver has turned out the lights and is driving very fast. You hope he knows what he's doing. Turn to page 56. As you wish. As you wish. That's what maybe that's what the kids in the year 2042, maybe that's what they say. Maybe that came back in style. It is kind of like a Hitchcock movie. The duck. Page 56. 30 minutes later, the bus slides to a stop in the gravel courtyard of a gray stone villa perched at the edge of the sea. You see several figures move from the shadows of a high wall. They approach the bus cautiously. Is the person here? One asks carefully. Yes, the driver replies. You realize that they are talking about you. Dr. Wogan wants to leave immediately. I think it is dangerous right now. She will be exposed if she leaves. We can protect her here, says one of the men. Well, you know Dr. Wogan. She does what she wants, the driver says. How about this one? What does Dr. Wogan want this person for? They are speaking about you again, obviously. Dr. Wogan says, this is the one who can help her with her plans, the first man replies. Turn to page 73, and there's the men emerging from the shadows, apparently. She doesn't want us for anything because we're useless. We are the person. We're the person they're talking about. Turn to page 73. The driver motions for you to get off the bus. You do, and then you are told to follow the men into the villa. Dr. Wogan's daughter goes with you. Dimmed flashlights are used to guide you through long hallways until you reach a medium-sized room. "Dr. Wogan," you say aloud. You say in a loud, surprised voice. "Welcome, young friend. Time is of the essence. I must move fast," she replies. "Why?" you ask. "Isn't the island safe?" "No. We have just arrived and already they know where we are. The key to world peace is the radiation neutralizer. We must finish it and give the plans to the world. I went into hiding to try to finish it on my own, but I've had enemy agents on my trail since the beginning. I've got to leave Boscata. I've escaped from Conakal, where I was held prisoner, and the agents are still after me." "How will you go?" you ask. "Boat to the mainland, in disguise by horse, to the border, then train, and finally plane," Dr. Wogan replies. "But where to?" you ask. Why by horse? Yeah, no one will ever think to look for me if I'm on a horse. That won't draw anybody's attention. Sorry, my daughter tried to make you kill yourself. That's a prank she pulls on everyone. You walk into, I know, I was thinking to myself, like, medium-sized room. Like, that's the best description you can come up with. It's not a small room. It's between a small and medium-sized room. You walk into a 8-foot by 8-foot room. Wow, I'm excited about that. I just rolled in from another thing. Highlights? Oh, okay. So we're looking for Dr. Wogan. We found her daughter, and her daughter took us to... we were on a boat with the daughter, and the daughter took us to an island where Dr. Wogan is hiding, and Dr. Wogan is now going to escape from the island and get back to the mainland. "Back to England," she responds. "I'm almost finished with the plans." "Dr. Wogan, I want to come with you. You might need me. I'm your best protector. You always said I had a sixth sense about things, especially danger." No, that was a different book where we had a sixth sense, ESP. That's not this book. If your ESP tells you to help Dr. Wogan, turn to page. Yeah, there are a lot of boats. There are too many boats in these books, Rob. I agree. So many boats. I don't know why. We have ESP again, apparently. We're the same character. "Yes, you could help me escape. But perhaps I should give you my latest work. Then, if I'm captured, you can finish the plans. I have faith in you. I leave it up to you, my friend. You can stay here and finish the plans if necessary, or you can come with me." If you want to go with Dr. Wogan, turn to page 51. If you stay behind with the latest plans for the radiation neutralizer, go on to the next page. Wait, so, like, she's a scientific genius, right? And, like, is developing these plans, but she's gonna be like, "Oh, you can probably finish it. I'm almost done. You're not, like, a scientific genius or anything like that, but, yeah. I'll just give all the plans to you and you finish it." Well, that makes a lot of sense. "Please do not have this kid control nuclear war." Yeah, no, I don't think we should be in charge of controlling nuclear war. That doesn't sound like a good idea. Yeah, I think we're going with Dr. Wogan on this one. Turn to page 51. Oh, and looks like that was Dr. Wogan when we finally found her. She was at her computer. There's the computers that they're using in 2043. They're still like big, like tube computers with, like a tower computer. Yep, it's very, very advanced technology in 2043. All right, turn to page 51. Oop, that's not 51. "I'm going with you, Dr. Wogan," you say. "Okay, our escape will be dangerous and exhausting. I'll be glad to have you along, my dear friend." You nod your agreement. Preparations are made in quiet. Finally, you and Dr. Wogan are in a boat. You cast off and bid farewell to your silent companions on shore, several men and the bus driver. They will act as decoys for the enemy. Dr. Wogan's daughter has already left for a safe house inland. An hour later, as you sail quietly through the heaving sea, you see a brilliant flash of light. It's a mushroom cloud. No, just kidding. You think that it is probably an explosion at the villa. You are concerned about those left behind, but what you must concentrate on is what's ahead. True, they're probably all dead now, but can't think about that right now. At dawn, you reach land. You abandon the boat and head inland. Turn to page 68. It's nice to be told up front when something's going to be dangerous and exhausting. We'll probably get killed. Yeah, my daughter's gone on ahead to the safe house, and yeah. She said, last thing she said was like, yeah, good luck, you're going to need it. The heaving sea, that's weird. Explosions behind me, brilliance in front of me. It's very, very poetic. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this, a boat. On another boat. Come on, it's taking me forever to get to page 68. Okay. You've only taken a few steps when a voice stops you. Halt! Who goes? Asks the firm voice. The light of the world, Dr. Wogan replies. Welcome, is the response. A man dressed in the rough clothes of a herdsman leads you to two horses tethered to a low-lying tree. A map, a compass, and a wish for good luck are given to you. Then you're off. There is no time to rest. It is a long way to the border, and the people who want Dr. Wogan are relentless. The trip will hold many dangers. Who was that man? You ask Dr. Wogan, wondering how extensive her network is. A cousin. I'm related to many in these parts, she says. And there's the guy getting some horses ready for it. Those horses look mean. Wow, look at that horse there. It's a dangerous horse. The light of the world. Someone, yeah, she's a little... I know she's, well, because she's a brilliant scientist, get it? So brilliant. Light. Yeah. Haha. It's an inbreeding adventure. I'm related to everyone on this island. It's a very small island, and not a lot of new people come to the island, so, you know, you have to do what you have to do. Yeah, we met her daughter, we're meeting her cousin. I'll turn to page 80. Toward noon, you see a band of men on horses moving in your direction. You look to Dr. Wogan to see if these men could be more of her quote-unquote relatives. By the look on Dr. Wogan's face, you know she wasn't expecting to see anyone. If you decide to run for it, turn to page 104. If you want to hide, turn to page 111. Should we try to hide? Or make a run for it? Well, we're on horses, so technically it wouldn't be running for it, right? We'd be galloping away. Hold on to your collectible cards. This is going to get good. Could she be evil? I mean, maybe she's the evil one, and they're actually all good. Maybe if like all nuclear weapons are rendered obsolete, they'll come up with even worse weapons. There'll be like a new arms race of like bombs that like do even worse stuff. Horses. Do the horses? How do we hide? How do we hide on a horse? Hide behind this tree on the horse. If we like angle the horse just right behind this really big tree, they won't be able to see us. I see we hide like the cowards we are. Hide. Horses. So Rachel, when you say horses, do you mean hide with the horses or run with the horses? We probably wouldn't hide with the horses, right? Gosh, this is a tough one. Pop a wheelie with the horse and then ride off. We'll try to run for it. I have a bad feeling about this, but Dr. Wogan, get going! That's our only chance, you yell, striking your horse with the crop and kicking hard. You don't get far. You are surrounded, captured, interrogated, and imprisoned, along with Dr. Wogan. My young friend, it seems like a disaster, but wait, just wait, Dr. Wogan says to you as you sit together in the stone cell of your prison. Patience! The plans they took from me are not only incomplete, but deliberately misleading. Only you and I know how to interpret them properly. We'll never talk, will we? The end. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. Well, what? No, I guess, I know, we had to kick the horse hard, and that didn't even help us. That was cruel to the horses. Alright, I guess, trying to run with the horses did not work. Dr. Wogan's very, optimistic. She's like, it's fine. We'll never talk, even if they torture us, right? Yeah, we've won. Okay. I guess we decide to hide. So we go to page 111 to try to do that. Hopefully not hiding with the horses. Let's take cover, Dr. Wogan, you suggest breathlessly. Maybe they haven't seen us. We can't outrun them. You are already off your horse. No, try to escape, she urges you, and spurs her horse onward. She hands you a duplicate set of the unfinished plans. Finish these if I'm caught. One of us must make it, she gallops off. You watch in horror as she is surrounded by other men who come from the opposite direction. Now you are alone and in sole possession of the secrets. I must escape. I must succeed, you say, as you scurry into the tangle of brush surrounding the rocky outcroppings of a small hill. I must escape. Are we just going to keep repeating that over and over again? I must escape. I must succeed. And it's the end. Wow, that's rough. So like a bunch of men like surrounding her with like guns drawn while she's on her horse. Ooh. How many copies of these plans does she have? Well, she has one copy that's like the legit real plans. She has another copy that's like intentionally wrong in case she's captured. Yeah, these are not endings. These are like to be continued, but then they're not continued. All right, maybe we'll go back to where we could decide to either stay with her or stay on the island to continue her plans, because that's what we ended up doing anyways. So what? Maybe we should stay behind with the latest plans for the radiation neutralizer. Almost said nebulizer. The radiation nebulizer. That's a totally different thing. Yeah, type. Whatever. The end. Alright, so we'll stay behind with the radiation neutralizer plans because that's what ended up happening anyways. Even though we tried to escape with her. Like, it didn't give us any options to actually escape with her, did it? I don't think it did. Yes, we did. And then we went to 68. And then we went to 80. Yeah, it's almost like they just like got tired of continuing to write. And they're like, yeah, whatever. You get captured. You're in jail now. The end. Well, Dr. Wogan believes in us. So if she thinks we can do the science, maybe we can. So, okay. Loneliness settles over you as you watch Dr. Wogan leave for the mainland in her small boat. The people standing around you are silent and saddened also. That's always the way it is with Dr. Wogan, you think. People love her and become dedicated to her. Well, let's get to it, you announce. It's time to prepare for the worst. Inside now. You surprise even yourself at how quickly you take command of the situation. Leadership is natural to you, but at your age, it still is surprising that these people, the bus driver, Dr. Wogan's daughter, and the men at the villa, all respond to you without questioning your authority. That's right. Time to get things done. Inside the villa, you ask them to gather around a table to plan for defense against attack and for your escape. Turn to page 89. Yeah, we've known her for like 30 seconds, so we're definitely qualified to assess all this. It's like Wesley Crusher like telling everyone in the Enterprise, okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm in charge now. Captain, first off, stop telling me to shut up. This is what we're going to do. I'm running the ship. I'm captain now. Captain Crusher. So, who are they? What can we do? And who will do what, you ask, looking at each face carefully. Dr. Wogan's daughter answers. They are a group of international criminals who deal in drugs, slavery, espionage, and anything else that will turn a profit. They operate like a business. They are efficient, brutal, and dedicated. Dedicated to money. They want those plans. So, what can we do, you ask again? We could join them, the bus driver answers, laughing in a loud voice. At that moment, a high, piercing whine invades the room. Attack! Yells one of the villa guards. You all dive for the floor just as a rocket explodes against the side of the villa. You know the villa can't be defended against attack by heavy arms, and your only chance of survival is to surrender and outsmart the enemy. On the other hand, the longer you fight, the more time Dr. Wogan has to get away. All right, and there's the missile slamming into the island. Or a rocket, something like that. We are discount Wesley Crusher. We couldn't get Wesley Crusher, so we got you. I guess you'll be good enough. Believe horses, believe plans, believe. Oops, the end. Yeah, we're not very good at making peace. So, if you think you should surrender, turn to page 4. If you want to take action, turn to page 58. Is it time to take action? I say we fight like we have 20 endings. Yeah, a high piercing whine invades the medium-sized room. Suddenly the room feels smaller, as if it's a small room and not a medium-sized room. Take action. So, well, Valerie says take action. Rachel says surrender. If we surrender, maybe we end up in the same cell. We end up going to the same ending that we had before, where we're in a cell with Dr. Vivaldi. They can, like, reuse endings that way. If our only chance of survival is to surrender, it did say that, didn't it? The only chance of survival is to surrender. But if you don't want to survive, maybe just keep fighting. Yeah, I guess it's kind of split. We'll take action. Taking action sounds fun, even if it does get us killed. Maybe it won't get us killed. Doesn't always get us killed. Sometimes we definitely survive. We can't stay here and be targets, you shout from the floor. Is there a hidden way out? Quick! The basement stairs lead to a tunnel exit in the water, says one of the men. Follow me! Moments later, you are all stand knee-deep in water, wrestling with an old fishing boat, trying desperately to free it from its mooring. Behind you, a second shell explodes. I thought we were going to fight, you say. Against those weapons, comes the answer. Finally, the boat is freed. The others climb in. Coming, they ask you? No. I'll stay and see if I can buy you and Dr. Wogan more time. They leave, only to be intercepted by a launch a mile offshore. You stay, waiting for the worst. Wait, it didn't even give us a choice whether we wanted to stay behind or not? So it's like, let's take action. No, actually, I'm going to stay behind. Wow, that did suck. So when they say they leave only to be intercepted by a launch a mile offshore, does that mean like a missile was launched at them and like hit their boat? What does that mean? So there doesn't mean like at least you're not dead, but you soon will be. Oh, that was terrible too. Okay. Waiting for the worst. I hate us and maybe death is a happy ending. Finally, it's over. Finally, my miserable existence is at an end. Okay, I guess we'll surrender then. I guess our only chance of survival was to surrender. I guess we were right. That was not wishful thinking. Page 4. Oh, okay. You have no opportunity to surrender. The next rocket explodes in the villa, ending all opportunity for action, now or in the future. The end. Okay. Wow, that was abrupt. So we either die right away or we die in a little while. Wow, there was like no... Man, where are the good endings? Also, it's been like just garbage endings. So if we take action, that doesn't work out. If we decide to surrender, that also doesn't work out. if we go with Dr. Vivaldi, that doesn't work out.
Dude.
Maybe we should have gone with maybe we should have gone to see the fortune teller.
You said Dr. Vivaldi.
Oh, I did. You know what? Throughout this whole thing, I was trying not to say. Every time I was going to say Dr. Wogan, I was thinking Dr. Vivaldi. I'd have to catch myself, but yeah, I'll just call her Dr. Vivaldi. I feel like she should be Dr. Vivaldi. Why introduce a new character when you already have a perfectly good doctor? I mean, Dr. Vivaldi is already a doctor of all these other things, so why not a nuclear physicist too? Huh. I don't know, maybe. So maybe, yeah, maybe we should sacrifice ourselves on the bus like that girl wanted. Or we could go to the fortune teller, but I feel like there'd be some racism there. Or, well, there's already been some racism, maybe. Yeah, I guess we'll try to be a decoy. See how that works out. She did her PhD in peace. The quest for peace. I'll go, you say, summoning up all your courage. If it gives Dr. Wogan time to escape, it's what I must do. The young woman nods, and you get up from your seat. Your legs feel like they're weighted with lead. Your feet seem to be unattached to your legs. Everything is dizzying and unreal. You move in a dreamlike state, down the bus aisle, down 2 steps, and into the street outside, all the while waiting for a hail of bullets, or worse. Nothing happens. The bus starts up and moves off in a puff of diesel exhaust. You head for a taxi stand by a cafe across the small town square. Oh, I'm surprised they still have taxis in 2043. Huh. People are milling about in the night, a mixture of tourists and locals. You try to look unconcerned, but your heart is beating so loudly that you fear the people on the street can hear it. I don't know, maybe they can. It's like a telltale heart. But we're alive, not under the floorboards. Page 50. Turn to page 54. Your feet seem to be unattached to your legs. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Well, I know. Suddenly, before we were taking command of the situation, it's okay, this is what we're gonna do. Now it's oh, I'm so scared. Uber and Lyft failed. The whole gig economy crashed. People were screw that. We want to go back to driving taxis again. At least we actually made enough money to kind of live on. Taxi, you say, in what you hope is a normal tone. A cab pulls up. Its driver leans out the window. Yes, my friend, he says. And where do you wish to go? You think for a moment. Around the island. Yes, that's it, around the island. Just a nighttime tour, you reply. That sounds totally normal. Yeah, around the island. Yeah, that's totally normal thing that I do at night. I always do that. Nighttime tour, right? Okay. Totally not nervous. But of course, my pleasure. Turn to page 79. Time for a night hour tour. You climb inside and the cab pulls away from the curb, but not before 2 men wearing fishermen's clothing climb in, one in front, the other in back next to you. They smell of garlic and tobacco. Let's get going, says the man sitting next to you. We've got our catch for the day. This one is a fine specimen, no? The taxi accelerates and the night swallows you in the folded hills of Boscada. You have been kidnapped, and you will be held for ransom. The ransom is probably Dr. Wogan and her plans. Your chances are not good, but at least there's a chance to go down in history as a hero. And now you also smell of tobacco and garlic because you're in a car with 2 men that smell of garlic and tobacco. Garlic and tobacco. One of the men takes out a clove of garlic and starts munching on it as he talks to you, and then takes out a big cigar and smokes it. Oh, man. Wow. Oh, and there's the taxi going off into the distance. Okay. Busted. Oh, wow. Okay. We're not going to go down in history as a hero. Wow, these endings are terrible. Oh, maybe we should try. Maybe we'll try the fortune teller then. Maybe it was the fortune teller all along. All right. If I can find it. 87. 94. Yes, if you decide to stay for the meeting with Zabeel. Tassie looks like it's driving through whipped cream. Maybe it is. Whipped cream with tobacco and garlic mixed into it. It teaches kids not to be suckers who believe in peace. Yeah, don't believe in peace. Peace is stupid. Just like we thought it was like the end of history, and then it's like, surprise, it's not. It's not the end of history. All right, we're gonna meet Zabeel. Not sure how I'm supposed to pronounce that. I'm not gonna try too hard. Page 7. A lot of page flipping in this one. The square is filled with people. The man who bumped into you has been absorbed into the crowd of busy people on market day. He is nowhere to be seen. Well, here I go, you say. The island can wait until another day. What's that? An old woman asks, staring up at you out of her wrinkled face with milky blue eyes. Nothing. Just talking to myself, you reply. The woman stares at you for a few more moments, and then she too is gone, swallowed up by the crowd of market-goers. The sun is fading in the late afternoon sky, and the air is growing cool. You pull your jacket tight, zip it up, and look for the Hotel Christos. And there's the old lady that has the milky blue eyes, the wrinkled face. All right, turn to page 9. The Hotel Christos, an old stone building with thick oak doors, sits across from the church. You take a deep breath and enter the hotel. It is dark and gloomy inside. You have a feeling this isn't an ordinary hotel. A very small man, dressed in a fancy scarlet uniform, greets you with an unusually loud voice. May I be of service? Yes, you reply. I want to sign up for Zabeel's show. Oh, so you want to see the great Zabeel perform? I might have known. Well, follow me. I will take you to sign up. But be careful, the ceiling is low and the steps are uneven. He leads you towards the back of the dark lobby. Turn to page 84. Come visit my gingerbread house, children face. Yes. I don't think we want to visit her gingerbread house. Well. Silently, a stone wall slides open on gleaming metal hinges, revealing a stainless steel spiral staircase. A greenish light comes from below. A cool current of air blows up the steps. You hesitate. Go ahead! Have no fear, says the small man. Oh. This time his voice is no more than a faint whisper. Oh, okay, so. Go ahead! Have no fear, says the small man. It takes several minutes to descend the stairs. At last you reach the source of the green light. It comes from a cave-like room of solid rock. The light is generated by a bank of computer monitors. 3 people huddle over the central screen. They straighten up at the sound of your approach. And there we are going down the steps. It services a wide variety of naps. Oh, that's true. If you want to take a nap in your hotel room, or you want a kid nap, or any kind of nap, really. We just found the secret lab. A murmuring sound, not quite music, fills the room. That's Dr. Wogan's sound, you think, startled. Many times when you were Dr. Wogan's assistant, she would cross her eyes, sit upright with arms and legs crossed, and emit a sound just like the one you are hearing. It is a sound made during meditation, the sound Om, repeated over and over again. Is Dr. Wogan making the sound? If so, where is she? Is she working here? It's just as likely she's being held captive. Here is one who is brave enough to meet Zabil. Will this one do? The dwarf asks. Yes, perfectly, replies the figure in the center with a knowing grin. Prepare our visitor. Will you come now? You are asked. So a dwarf, huh? Okay. Is it like... If it's not one of the 7 dwarfs, I'm like thinking... I really don't think we should still be calling people dwarves, but okay. If you decide to go with them and investigate the sounds on the way, turn to page 12. If you try to escape because you think this might be a setup, turn to page 30. So do we go with So do we go with the dwarf and the other dude? Prepare our visitor. Yeah, that sounds ominous. Prepare our visitor. Make sure they are well prepared. We have been expecting you. Not quite music, meaning not entirely not music. It's not music at all. We're definitely going to die, but let's go. Prepare dinner. Yeah, it's a setup, but we'll go with them and see what happens. Maybe we'll get to meet Zabil. Maybe not. Page 12. Dr. Wogan once told you that sound currents connected all things in the universe. Some sounds could be used for good. Other sounds created evil. Now that you think back to those days in Dr. Wogan's labs and testing grounds, you recall the presence of soothing sound. Lead on, you hear yourself say in a distant voice, almost as if you are hearing a recording of your voice played in a tunnel. You feel yourself drifting. You are relaxed, able to see clearly, but unable to think quickly or normally. You are led away. I'm hypnotized, you say out loud, but your voice is a mere whisper. Uh-oh. Turn to page 95. The murmuring increases in intensity until it reverberates so intensely you feel as though you were in a huge pinball machine, being bounced back and forth by the murmuring sound waves. I must wake up. A mobilizing blackness slips into your shoes and floods upward through your body till only your head is above it. Tell us what you know of Dr. Wogan. What? You manage to gasp. You know what? The voice replies. We have spies who tracked you from the moment you left Delta Group offices in London. We want information. Now tell us all you know. Maybe if you tell them a little, they'll let down their guard and you can find a way to escape. On the other hand, if you pretend to pass out, you could buy some time while telling them nothing. If you pretend to pass out, turn to page 32. If you decide to tell them what you know... I've lost my grip on the plot. Sorry, Rachel. Pass out? Okay, we'll pass out. Yeah, no, we were going to meet, like... We were supposed to meet the great Zabil fortune teller, and instead we, like, found a secret hideout, and then they kidnapped us. Pass out. Well, where's the pass out? Dr. Wogan is my only... You say, your voice trailing off until it's inaudible. You slump against the wall and slide, and slip to the floor with a bone-jarring thud. Your eyes roll, you drool, and you speak garbled words. It is only half play acting, since you hit your head hard when you fell. At least the sudden movement released you from the hypnotic trance. Turn to page 50, and there we are. Slumped in the corner. We look pretty messed up. We give ourselves a concussion from acting. You feel reassured and also lost. Sorry, Rachel. The plot's not supposed to make any sense. The room spins, the light intensifies, your head begins to clear, but you pretend to remain only semi-conscious. You open your eyes, millimeter by millimeter, surveying the room through your eyelashes. It's empty. You sit up. They're gone, you sigh in relief. You feel your legs and arms, your head, your hands. Everything seems all right. You stagger to your feet and begin an investigation of the surrounding area. A door in the stone wall attracts your attention. To your surprise, it opens. Why would we say they're gone out loud? Like, if it's only us in the room. A smartly dressed, middle-aged man steps into the room. Come now, my good friend. You've had a bad time of it. Let's leave these dreary surroundings and see if we can have a pleasant little talk. Follow me. You follow a tunnel from the subterranean chamber into a bright garden. The sun is at its zenith. You wonder how much time has passed. The digital readout on your watch tells you it's noon. Dr. Wogan is with us, the man says. However, she is, how should I say it? She is sick, or rather, incapacitated at the moment. Perhaps you could help her. How, you ask suspiciously. Well, interpret these papers of hers, and we'll release her to you. Simple, no risk, the man says. He hands you a sheaf of papers. You recognize at once what they are. They are Dr. Wogan's plans for the unfinished radiation neutralizer. They are, however, missing important bits of information. How did you get these, you ask. We have our ways, he replies. Turn to page 106. I feel like we can definitely trust that guy, right? He's definitely not evil at all. He's totally good dude. We can't fall for this. They look like Funko action figures. Yeah, they kind of do. Just finish these plans for us, and then we'll release her to you. She'll be good as new. She won't be sick anymore. For some reason. For some reason, she's sick right now, but, you know, we can make her better. Oh, yeah, Funko Marvel villains. Yep. The man lights a cigarette and blows smoke rings slowly in your direction. Help us with these papers. We must have the missing parts. Only then will Dr. Wogan be allowed to live, and you too. Dr. Wogan has warned you many times, has even made you swear, to protect the plans with your life. In the right hands, these plans mean peace. In the wrong hands, they mean slavery on a scale beyond your wildest imagination. Those have been some of the last words spoken to you by Dr. Wogan before she disappeared. You stall for time. The man presses you to make a decision. You pretend, talk, beg, ridicule. You are desperate, but you will not yield. His threats don't frighten you. The plans are useless without your vital information. Time is on your side, and both of you know it. The end. Well, that wasn't that great. Time is on your side. Yes, it is. Oh, man. That was rough. Did we have, like, any really good endings? I don't think so. Did we even have a choice in that? Not really. Oh, yeah, right. We had to fake falling unconscious. Yeah, why is time on our side? Time's on our side for a little while they keep torturing us and not giving us food. Yeah, I don't know why time would be on our side. Yeah, let me create something that could cause massive slavery if the wrong person gets it. I believe we can work with these people. That's totally okay. All right. Well, hate to stop on a down note, but I think we'll stop here. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Dr. Wogan. Is the cavalry coming? Is this guy dying in 1 hour? I don't know. Yeah, they're all down notes. I'm sure there's a good ending here somewhere. I mean, there are 20 endings. So we didn't do all 20 endings, but yeah. Been reading for about an hour or so. Hey, we got, yeah, that's right. Hey, we got collectible cards. I mean, look at these collectible cards. Look at that. Melting Mountain, Water Glamour. Effect, turn lava from the smoking island into a powerful force. Can be good or evil depending on the direction of the card. Globs of lava rise out of the molten rock, seeming to stand up to greet you. They don't appear to have mouths, and yet you hear a deep, raspy voice say your name, Gesundheit. Or a masked demon. That sounds good. Strength. True identity is a mystery. Weakness. Terrified of his secret past. Well, aren't all masked demons terrified of their secret pasts? Subterranean shifter. I guess those are in different books, so yeah. Wow, stories by... Hey, Brian. Well, Brian, I'm actually just finishing, but you missed a very exciting story as we tried to rescue Dr. Wogan and kept getting killed or imprisoned or, yeah. So that's what's been happening here. But bummer. Go. All right, well, yeah, I think we'll stop here. And next week, not quite. Yeah, so next week, actually, I think I will read this one, which should be pretty funny. It's not actually a Choose Your Own Adventure book, but it's like a parody of a Choose Your Own Adventure book called Choose Your Own Misery. And it's written by writers that used to write for The Onion. So these people, Mike McDonald and Jilly Gagnon. So yeah, it'll probably be more adult in tone. I haven't read it at all. So yeah, it's Santa in a bathtub, and you can see he's got something plugged in. Looks like a toaster. Yeah, so that should be very uplifting and like yeah, totally not darkly humorous at all. So yeah, I'm excited for the holiday one too. I have not read it at all, so it's going to be as much a surprise to me as it will be to all of us. So yeah, today's book could have been called Choose Your Own Misery. It was pretty miserable. I mean, if I started this early, well, you know, if I had more time, I would you know, keep reading until I got to a good ending. But I feel like an hour is probably enough time, you know, to at least get like get the flavor of the book and maybe get a good ending. And if we don't, we don't. So sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I will see you in Horror Days. There was actually another one besides the holidays, but didn't get that one, and it's sold out. But if they have I guess they just published two. But if they have another one available. The other one available, I'll pick that up at some point. Anyways, yeah, that might not be a good ending, Rachel. They might all be bad. They might be. Looks like some of them are good, but none of them are really great. Anyways, yeah. So all right, Montgomery, look at what your book's done to me. Yeah, they can all be great. So. But yeah, we're going to keep this going week after week until they run out of Choose Your Own Adventure books, which is going to probably take several years. So yeah, keep it going. As long as you guys show up, I'll show up and keep reading these. So yeah. All right. Well, yeah. So I'll stop here and hope you all have a great week, and hope to see you in another week. So take care. And have a good night.